Instead of giving fines to people who drive drunk, why not solve this problem at the root? Why not make cars that do not collide? Why not put an emphasis on public transportation? Or why allow alcohol if it can be so dangerous? A lack of money or profit leads indirectly to such dangerous situations where human well-being is no longer a priority. Laws punish without explanation, and this behaviour is identical to that promoted by the school. Remember that laws are limitations that you have accepted. Laws are invented rules that only punish, they do not solve the problem. I mean, if a man commits a crime, you should be interested in why that man committed the crime, not only punish him for it.
It appears that years ago, in order to manage tribes and small communities, it was very difficult to manage people unless they invented laws. Now, the tribe leader always got the best of the deal as a rule. And in order to assure that be perpetuated, laws were invented. Laws originate only because of scarcity. If you have difficulty making that connection, imagine fruit growing all over the world on every tree. There would be no laws as to how much fruit you can eat. It has nothing to do with decency and ethics. It has to do with distribution of scarce resources. Naturally, the control group of any society gets the best. And that's the way the law is set. If we run out of material, laws are arranged so that some people get so much and others get so much, and by the amount of work you do, you get so much or so much less. But remember this, as essence, a way of thinking about law is think in terms of scarcity. If most of the airplanes disappeared for whatever reasons, hurricane storms, then the few planes that did exist would be used by the establishment, the key rulers of the establishment. Do you understand that? If thousands of planes exist, thousands of cars, there's no need to make laws regarding who uses cars. But you can make laws about cars. On the highway, the speeds, all that sort of thing. That's to maintain a degree of control. But the best way to maintain control is through technology, so that you make cars that can't hit one another and can't exceed the speed as established in the given district. And rather than having the speed rate indicated on the highway, the power output for cars will be a certain range, instead of saying, do not drive over 60 miles an hour. I would say that was the original intent of law, to get the masses of people to accept the limitations superimposed upon them as being the result of their own misbehavior. You deserve what you get. You hear that? You deserve what you get. So if you can convince people that all the misery that befalls you, you're paying off your karma, well, that's not bad. You don't have to have too many policemen out there either.
Remember, laws are necessary in an unjust and uneducated system. The environment creates behaviour, so if you want mankind to be organised in a progressive and intelligent way, without creating dangerous situations, then you should organise the environment. The solution is prevention. Create abundance and nobody wants to steal. Nobody will kill due to scarcity, nobody will be jealous of others' property, no one will become selfish. Focus on educating people and make them aware of the reality that shows us that we are all alike and that we can survive with greater comfort if we all live in an equal environment. You also focus on teaching children how to communicate with others, how to solve problems, and how to debate ideas that are contradictory. When the environment is the same for all, genes will have less importance. You could find genes that lead to violent behavior, but if the environment doesn't trigger those genes, then those genes don't matter. They'll never be activated. Laws can be replaced by education and abundance. The monetary system cannot create equality among people, so these solutions cannot be applied in the monetary system.
You think man makes laws to make life better for people? No, it's to manage scarcity. So if we move toward the production of an abundance, the amount of laws will diminish, directly proportionate to how much we eliminate scarcity.
The human being is a being capable of discovering. We are the most capable as far as we know. You cannot prohibit without reason for such a being. We are not so primitive.